Hello and welcome back to Shine Like a Diamond initiative, that podcast where we highlight the initiatives and the changes and the change makers that make the world more inclusive and supporting to people who live with neurodivergent, especially those who often are overlooked by society. So those who might not otherwise be able to settle in and struggling in typical public swimming settings. So we are going to talk about why this matters and how it's already making a big impact and difference, and how families can get involved, because for many many of the neurodivergent families, they find it so hard to find a safe space that is sensory considerate, the spaces for recreation, and is not easy for them whenever they try to get integrated into the society. So today, as we come to Olympia and we are meeting the team that is making these changes, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, Lynn. And is it struggling? Is it a bit difficult for you?
It's a bit difficult. I think we're learning on our feet, as everybody is. We just kind of learn, we listen to people and we take that on board. It's been a slow start, but I hope with guidance from yourself and others, we'll get there. We will.
Okay. Yeah. What made you start ASN sessions?
I think it was a demand from parents and from teachers. We had emails coming in asking if we had specific for classes because their children possibly wouldn't fit into a structured session. Also, some of the teachers within the programme that I've been teaching for years have said there's a few children, they said they're not getting the best from the children, or they're not giving their best. So that was the main thing. And feedback from parents as well. So it was a combination of all three, to be truthful.
And you're really creating a safe space for these children, aren't you?
Yes, they seem to enjoy it so far, so yes.
Okay. I have been in these classes myself, and to be honest, the work you're doing in the society is absolutely amazing. Like, I myself, I come in and it's an escape. It's really an escape. It's a place where if you have a busy life like I do, and I'm sure most of you who are watching have got such a busy life, when you come in here, they've set up a safe space for all of us, where that little time that you've got, you can actually put your work aside. You can actually forget everything that you're going through and really have one-on-one with your child. And I will say for also your mental health, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a big impact.
It's not just for the children, it's for the parents or guardians that come along. They've got that half an hour where they can relax because the children are enjoying themselves and they seem relaxed in the pool as well. So yes.
Yeah. Right. Many neurodivergent children and adults struggle with a lot of these overstimulating environments, as we know. How are these Thursday sessions, are you finding, are really coming in to make a difference from a typical swimming times that you have within Olympia?
Yes, our kind of outlook on the sessions was different because the Olympia is a noisy environment. So we were really quite surprised when a lot of the children, even though they didn't like loud noises, when they come into the swimming pool, it doesn't seem to affect them whatsoever. They're somewhere enjoying themselves, taking their mind off it, and your smiles on their faces is unbelievable. And the parents as well, they smile as well. So yes, definitely.
And the staff that you have around, they seem to really be coping with this. I would say kudos to you, because it starts from the top, the management. So when you guys have got this setup where even the team that you have that are working under you are doing exactly the work that you want them to do.
Yes.
How did you get to do that?
I've got a really good team, and they're always willing to learn all the time. They'll go on courses. We also link in with other organisations like Scottish Swimming. They've got courses. Plus, we've got a disability development officer. So we link in and we get advice from them, plus feedback from parents and that as well. We do take that on board. So, no, the team are really good and they work hard.
And I also notice you have like visual aids for these children, because as we know, some of them cannot take instructions.
Yes, we've got the visual aids. If they've got their own, they can bring them along. But we also have them on the side of the pool, so with activities that they can go to and use throughout the sessions. If there's ones that we don't have, just let us know and we can get them or bring them along. So yes, that's a big part of the lesson. Yes,
I find your communication skills are amazing.
Thank you.
Because most of these parents, the level of care that makes such a difference is what you guys do. What kind of response have you seen from all the neurodivergent families and even other people that come in as guests, maybe, or viewers, people who are looking outside? What kind of response do you think?
We've had a very positive response from parents and actually the schools. Some of the schools have come back to say that the confidence in the children out with the swimming activities has brought them on leaps and bounds. And even in the class with the smiles and the children interacting and sharing toys and things like that, which possibly they might not do over the last few weeks. And just even seeing the children from when they first started to, well, what we maybe 6 weeks into it, confidence, and the parents as well. I think just the smiles on the interaction between the two, unbelievable.
I've seen the photographs, and let me tell you guys, these relaxed sessions that you've made sure that it's so inclusive for these children, and as you said with the parents, when you look at them together, you know, in otherwise, we all know, anybody who's watching out there and this resonates with them, they will understand. Sometimes you're so busy, you don't get to have one-on-one with your kids, because there are people who have siblings, there are people who have other people out there, so your life is always on the move.
Busy,
What you've ended up doing is literally bisecting this and removing all the extras, and you've given us a space where somebody can just come in and it's just one-on-one with your child, and I think that is amazing.
Thank you. I mean, people do, and even some of the parents have said that one-on time, the stress from work, when they come in for that half an hour, they can forget about that and have a bit. They can have fun as well. It's not just for the kids.
Exactly. And that's what you've created, is a safe space for everybody. So, for families who may have very tough experiences elsewhere when they try to go and get mingled in, this sounds like a really lifeline for them. What does a typical session look like to you? Because if you go to, whenever you come into Olympia, we all know you guys are very popular. So you get the normal typical session, it's busy and everything. And then you have this section where you've actually managed to separate for these children. How did you end up getting to that point where you're like, okay, this works for these children, and focus on that and getting it working? Because that's where people are finding there's not much inclusivity because people don't know how to go about it. And yet, here you are. You've succeeded. You and your team have succeeded to create this safe space for these children.
The splash sessions, we had to just look at a time that was maybe a bit quieter. The lessons are not as structured either. The children can kind of come in, they can kind of take their toys into the pool. The teachers will go around and speak to the parents. They'll give them basic water confidence. And also, if they're that little bit, more, they can get some swimming skills in that as well. But all we want to do is really for them to have fun in a fun, safe environment. And I think we'll take feedback from the parents if there's little things that need to be kind of changed. If we can, we will certainly try to do that.
One thing I've also noticed, your very the communication that you have with the parents, to me, I think is key, because a lot of parents, as you know out there, when you're trying to speak to somebody and people are not listening to you on your needs, you have prioritized that. And I think this is where you're succeeding, because your whole team, people are okay to feel they can come to you whenever they have any grievances. You're always checking to see how well you're doing. You're always making sure you're not offending or you're not overstepping. You're trying to understand these kids. And I think anyone out there will agree, when you have people who are this devoted to the cause of change, I think it's absolutely amazing for me. And beyond the water, what kind of impact do you hope that these sessions will have on families out there that some of the time they don't know where they are supposed to get any attention or feedback?
So if they're looking to come along to the Splash Sessions, the Active Dundee website, go to activities and it's wellbeing tile there. They can get the information there, or we've also got the aquatics email that they can email us in. And generally what we'll do is, if there's an inquiry or come in, I'll phone the parent or guardian so that I've got information, because we don't know, everybody's individual. So just to get a little bit of feedback for these sessions. They're on a Thursday night, kind of 6:30 down at Olympia. If you want to kind of come down and see the facility, meet the teachers and ourselves beforehand, we can arrange that as well. So that's not, that's not an issue.
Yeah, guys, I know you do come to Olympia because it's a very popular place to come to. But if you can just kind of have a stop, if you need to, if you're not sure, stop by.
Yes.
Come and see what is happening on there. And when you see these smiles, I'm not joking, you will see what I mean. Because you might think it's just me saying, but I've been in it, I'm part of it. I'm making sure I'm always here to see the changes. And what these guys are creating is routine. And they're giving these parents and carers a space to connect that helps parents feel like they belong in the community. And we think that is the most amazing thing that you can do. So kudos to Olympia and the team out there. If a parent or a carer is listening and thinking, this could actually be perfect for my child, how can they get in touch and how can they get involved with the ASN sessions?
Okay, as mentioned before, on the Active Dundee website, if you go into Active Dundee, go to activities and it's the wellbeing tile and you click on a link and it'll take you and give you information. The other option would be to email the aquatic activities at leisureandculturedundee.com and just kind of say that you're inquiring about these sessions and we'll get back in touch with you. A good thing from the side, the classes and that are busy, so there might be a delay getting back to you. You might get a first response and then it'll be a delay maybe getting into the classes, but we won't forget about you. We'll have your details hopefully and we can get you introduced to these classes sooner.
One thing I can say for sure, even if you don't get the immediate response, the one thing Olympia are key in doing is making sure they will get back to you. I can say that for sure. Whether other people don't do, but they normally, you will even get a phone call. If you get an email and you don't get it, you get a reminder. They are very good at communication. Before we wrap up, what would you say to other centers that, or any other organization that wants to start something similar, but they find a bit of challenges?
I would say to ask questions, do a little bit of groundwork before you start these up. Speak to people that are maybe already doing it and then give it a go, give it a try. You could have a big growing program that we have, hopefully. Take it step by step. I would say speak to people and speak to parents. I think they're probably the ones that are key and be able to give you the information that's needed and link in with maybe other groups that are doing it as well.
I agree. You can always start small, just like you started with small numbers and now it's growing. And also, as she said, consulting neurodivergent voices and listening to them is key. And also, as they've done, is creating a calm and consistent environment, because as we know, routine is key for these children. If you have like this Thursday session, every kid kind of within the whole week, they're singing Thursday. I'm going swimming on the Thursday. I'm going swimming on the Thursday. And the parent as well, no matter what you do, you have to stop and have these connections. So I would say that is the best way to go forward. And you guys, again, I cannot sing enough praises of what you're doing. So as we wrap up, I want to thank you so much, and thank you viewers for joining us and sharing, especially this amazing space that you've got in there with us. And again, Olympia is doing it's not just about swimming. It's about saying to the neurodivergent individuals and their families that you belong here, just as you are. Nobody cares whether some needs are bigger than the others. You literally have open doors for everybody. They're as inclusive as anyone can be. If you're listening and this sounds like a great fit for your child or your sibling or someone that you care for, please check their sessions information. And as she said, go to the website. You'll get all the information that you need within the website, and any classes that they do attend, you're very good in your system to explain that. Every step we make for our community is more understanding and more accessible, brings us closer to a world where everyone feels safe and included, which is the most important thing, and especially they are celebrated. Until next time, thank you and keep shining.